Hello, ACF friends and family. Susie and I are here with Kenton and Emily Boone with a really great story to tell you and a really big announcement to make. But first, a little bit of background about ACF, Austin Christian Fellowship.
Okay, so we started Austin Christian Fellowship way back in 1993. We moved from Fort Worth, where Will was finishing his doctoral work, to Austin. It was the dream of a lifetime to come back to Austin and start a church. And when we came, our son, our oldest, was 6 years old, Emily was 3, and our youngest, Sarah, was an infant. And we came back with all kinds of visions for what the church would look like in Austin, Texas. And we came back with all kinds of big ideas about how the church would go. And we came back with a plan and a lot of excitement and a lot of energy with our young family to grow the church. And it has been the dream of a lifetime to get to do this. And to get to do this together and with family included has just been, I call it a big God dream. I couldn't even imagine asking God for what he's given because it's just been so good. So we've been thrilled to be a part of the church. We've been thrilled to be a part of the church in the city, the Big C church in the city. And honestly, it's been a delight and a lot of hard work. As Will and I were called to ministry both in high school and getting to build out the church in Austin, Texas, has just spoken a lot about who God is as a good father and his graciousness toward us. So I just want to say that in starting that this has been a dream. And you've been a part of that dream because you've been a part of the church. And so I just want to say thank you to you for going along with us and believing big things in what God could do in the city and what God could do in the lives of the people that we love, our families and our neighbors. I'm just so grateful to you for being a part of the church here in Austin called Austin Christian Fellowship.
So when Susie and I returned to Austin in 93, I told people we had a 30-year plan, and we had no idea what that even meant. It just sounded good. Oh, we're here for the next 30 years. I had no clue. And Susie's talked about all the dreams and visions we had, none of which became reality, but a bunch of better ones did. Our ideas went away, and God made better dreams out of it. But we really did say 30 years would be enough. And June 1st is actually, for me on staff, 32 years. And so I've been talking the last 2 or 3 years to anybody who would listen, and some who wouldn't, that I knew our time to transition out of leadership was going to be coming, that our son was going to set on our ministry here, and another one to rise up. And so we've been praying about it, we've been talking about it, and it became pretty clear to me about a year ago that I was nearing the end of this run, and Susie and I both agreed it was about time. And so we started talking about how we find the next leaders. And we were thinking about looking at some churches and who had these big, great pastors and great preachers and all these people. And somebody teed up, what about your family? And we said, no, we're not interested in that. And they said, again, what about your family? I said, no, we're not interested in that. And we prayed about it, and suddenly we realized that what these two offer, and specifically Kenton and his leadership and his understanding the ACF DNA, fit everything we were looking for, and they were right under our noses. Mm-hmm. So strategically, after Easter services last year, a year ago, we invited Emily and Kenton to lunch to slowly, gradually, gently tee up the concept of them perhaps taking leadership of ACF.
Strategically?
and slowly.
Slowly?
Yeah.
So we, in the church, we had just gotten done with 3 services. Emily led, 14 songs or something crazy like this. And so we were just enjoying Tex-Mex, Sunday after Easter, just like every church, family does. And Susie, you start grilling me on how I feel about leadership and how I feel about, I was in a seminary program at the time, how that was going. And, I love talking about it. So I was just enjoying the conversation. And
it's at this point, I'm just sinking underneath
Emily's
the table.
getting lower and lower in the chair.
Because I have known them a little longer, and I had some discernment on where this was going. I was very surprised at where it was going, because it ended up being a conversation about how they had been praying about this for a long time and wanted to see if we would be willing to consider praying about taking over leadership at ACF.
Yeah.
There was a moment when the three of us are looking at each other, kind of laughing, and Kenton's like, "What?" And I said, "Bro, this is not a free lunch. This lunch is going to cost you everything." That literally happened.
Yeah.
And they, about a year ago,
Yeah.
said yes.
Yeah.
And so for the last year, I've been meeting with Kenton and praying. We've been talking about plans on how to make this happen, shared it with staff, shared it with elders. And now here in the first week in March of 2025, we are ready to share it with you. And so it's a big next 3 months. June 1 will be 32 years, 40 years of marriage for us. And we think that's probably long enough for the ACF part, not the marriage part. And so by the end of that time, Kenton will be in leadership. May 18th, we'll have an event at the church. We'll tell you more about it, where we install Emily and Kenton as the leaders and submit to them as the new leaders, specifically Kenton at ACF. And we're really excited about it. It's with mixed emotions. Obviously, we love ACF. It's just hard to do because we love y'all so much. But it's time. So we really want to now focus a little bit more on just the future and what you can expect.
Yeah. Emily and I, as we'll mention, we prayed through it and we feel like this is God's yes. And you'll hear a lot more from me in the weeks and months to come, I'm sure. But for now, what we want to tell you is just that we love ACF. We love its mission to enable the seeker of purpose, meaning, and truth to know, love, and serve Jesus Christ. We love that prayer is at the heart of everything that we do as a staff, as a church. We love that our call is to be generous and to pray big prayers on behalf of local and global missions and how we can give. We love all of those things. And at the end of the day, we love ACF. And it's my call as, the future senior pastor to spend my life on this church and to spend my life on this community. And that's what I'm going to do. But there's lots of feelings, as we know, and I don't know, what do you want to say?
I just want to say ACF has always felt like coming home to me. I have grown up in this church and with this church. I feel like as I grew in years, so also ACF was growing, and I feel like it's a sweet family member for me. But also, Austin Christian Fellowship is so integral to who I am, just because I did get to grow up here and with them as my parents. And I personally just don't know who I would be without Austin Christian Fellowship and the role that God has used this church in my life. And so to be in this position now is wild and not something that I, as I expressed earlier, ever imagined or thought about, which to me just speaks to how beautifully God is writing the story, because it's something He created and came up with. And when we prayed about it for those months and considered it, we knew exactly what we'd be stepping into. And so we wanted to take our time and really ask God, is this what you have for us? And also this church that we care so deeply about, that I care so deeply about. And there is not a shadow of a doubt in the yes that we had from the Lord. And so it was an easy yes after that for us. And I just want to say that I love ACF as much as you do. And I really look forward to this new season I'm going to have with this church. I mean, I feel like I've had 35 years of ACF and God using ACF to pour into my life. And now I'm thankful that I get to continue my relationship with this church just in a new way and with so much care and compassion and gratitude to the Lord, because He's going to lead it. And so we're excited, we're indescribably humbled, and we're also trusting that this is God's story and that He's been orchestrating it from way before any of us could have dreamt it up ourselves.
And I just want to say, from the Boones, that's a beautiful testament, their yes, before God, knowing what it looks like to lead a church. And we're humbled by their yes. But you also need to know, from the Davises' standpoint, we are here. ACF is our church. We're not going anywhere. And we are here to serve the Boones as they lead the church moving forward. We had the opportunity to have so many wise counselors through the years in the form of our overseers and other people that have spoken into and helped will lead the church forward. And we're so grateful, and we wouldn't be here without those people. And we're honored that we get to be those people to the Boones. It's a big God dream. We didn't even know to ask for. So I just want to say that you need to know that we are here for you through the Boones. And we're going to do everything we can to continue to grow the church and the ministry of the church in the world, and specifically in Austin and in your families and with your neighbors. We love the church. We love the Boones. We love their yes. We're here for their yes, and we're going to do everything we can to support their yes moving forward.
Not many people get to found a church and then stay there 3 decades. I mean, that's rare air for Susan and me, and we take every day of it as a blessing. Don't take any of it for granted. And the days we have left, we take as a blessing. We prayed before we started the video, and to sit here on this couch now, almost 32 years in, and be saying this to you is really surreal and a little freaky and terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
For everyone.
Yes. Maybe for more than others.
We're fine.
And there is the leaders sitting over there. But it's God. As hard as it is for all of us, we have complete peace. So stay tuned. There's more to come. I'm asking everybody to put the Boones on your prayer list and start praying for them and treat them as the next leaders who are anointed by the Lord.
Yeah.
The set man is sitting over there, as the Old Testament says, to lead this church into the future, and let's act like it, because it is. We love you dearly. We'll see you soon, and stay tuned for more information.
Yeah, love you, church.